I just, this this Thursday, a really important guy in my life died, Father Ted. Um, so I just kind of wanted to. He was very instrumental in me becoming Orthodox, and I just kind of wanted to share like a little bit of a memory eternal to him a little bit. So, um, and I don't think he'd mind me doing this, but he was very instrumental in my faith. So I just kind of wanted to say it. I read in this bio, and I didn't know this. He was born in Greece. I knew that, but he was born in Greece after World War II, and he was a second. He was a record-breaking swimmer from his teens to his 20s. I did not know that. I actually did not know how he became a priest. He had kind of told me a little bit here and there when I lived in Waco, but you know, I didn't get all this story. But his son shared it and uh, shared it, and I was like, wow, didn't know all this. Um, he was so good at swimming that he had to join when he had to join the Greek Navy, um, as it's mandatory there, right? Um, they made him join the Greek national swimming team. So when he went there, he kept winning competitions until it was his time. The time was up for being in the Greek Navy, and I never knew that. I thought, oh wow, I didn't know. I knew he liked swimming, but I didn't know all that. I was like, wow, I learned something about Father Ted I didn't know. Um, but yeah, he worked as a it's called a merchant marine for a while, and he was so good at it he became a second mate. And this one time he sails through a hurricane. So during the hurricane, they were trying to get the shipment there. So he sails through a hurricane. They sailed through a hurricane, and while they're going through it, they're pretty sure that the ship is going to sink. So, um, this is how he kind of became a priest. So he promised God that, whatever role God saw fit for him to do, he would do it. Like, just please let me stay alive and I will do whatever you ask of me to do. So the ship barely makes it. And it was held together by one bolt left. Like there was one bolt left when they started trying to fix it. They made it, and the rest of the bolts had come undone from the hurricane. So, um, kind of cool story. But he came to the U.S. 1973 and met his wife. Met his wife Kathy, great lady, um, and one after a while, there was a priest that he suggested, hey, you should go to seminary. Uh, I know you love God, so maybe you should go to seminary. So he said he took that as a sign, and he decided I'm going to go be a priest. So you know, he remembered the events from the hurricane, and so he said, you know what, I think I'm going to go be a priest. So he did just that, right? And uh, like I said, he did die. Like he had cancer, so um, he passed away Thursday, and I just kind of am reflecting on it a little bit because he was very instrumental to me becoming Orthodox. So memory eternal to Father Ted because he pastored St. Nicholas Greek Orthodox Church in Waco, Texas, and he was there when I was considering becoming Orthodox. So when I lived in Waco, and he was instrumental in this. If I ever had a question, like much to his dismay, right? He would answer it if he could, right? He did his best to answer any crazy question that Lance had, because I would ask crazy questions, and he laughed all the time when I asked him eschatology questions because, you know, before this I was a full preterist, so so it intrigued him for a little bit, right? He thought, wow, this Lance guy's kind of crazy, but I like him. He's a nice guy. I hope he thought I was a nice guy. I think he did. But he thought, wow, this guy's a full preterist. I don't know what that is, but when he figured out what it was, he would ask me questions about it, like, well, what do they believe about? What do they believe? How did you get into this? How did you believe this? And I would tell him like some of the arguments that we had. Like I would share some arguments Don Preston would give, stuff like that, right? And he famously, I remember these famous words, Tim telling me, because he's from Greece, so he spoke native Greek, read native Greek, and when he went to seminary, he got really good at reading Koine Greek too, is from what I can tell. So he goes, famously, he tells me, he goes, Lance, these people do not know Greek, and the way he said it. And so, because he could speak, I mean, he spoke it fluently, he could read it, and that has stuck with me forever since then. Like, it's always stuck with me. Like, these people do not know Greek. Like, no, they don't. Like, they're just Americans. They don't know Greek. Like, uh, you know. So I always thought that was funny. But, he absolutely loved when he could get to talk about his homeland in Greece. He loved it. He loved talking about it. He served faithfully as a priest for 36 years until 2020. And when I left Waco, showed up just kind of random, but it was a conference, but it had been a while since I'd been there. So, first thing I did, like when I showed up, he immediately remembered me. He was like, Lance, it's you. And, he was like, he immediately remembered me, asked me, where did you run off to? um, so, I'll always remember him for being a really kind man and a great pastor too. So yeah, try not to choke up a little bit here, but I don't think I'd be Orthodox without that guy. So yeah, so let me gather myself here for a second. um, so yeah, memory eternal to you, Father Ted, and may Christ tell you, well done, good and faithful servant, as we all await the second coming and the resurrection of the dead. Amen. Yeah. All right. I'm going to